Hello and welcome to this episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host, and today I'm talking about worthiness. Do you often feel unworthy? Does your brain often jump in with the "you're not worthy" comments when you are trying something new or different or outside of your comfort zone? So, this is what we're talking about in the show this week. So, I urge you to get over and listen to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello guys, welcome to this episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. How are you? Currently recording this very early in the morning, as you can probably tell. It's half term, so things are a little bit busy trying to entertain children, trying to continue to run the businesses, and also we are going through lots of change in the businesses, as you might already know, in TLC. And also we are trying to launch something new with Aura Landscapes and grow the teams, etc. So it's a very busy time. Half term comes at the most inappropriate times, but I do believe that it has also come at really a proper time as well, because it means that I have to take a step back and I have to kind of slow down in one way. And it gives me a bit more time with the children, which is also awesome, but it's absolutely exhausting. I'm exhausted already, and we're not even, well, today as I'm recording it, it's Thursday of the first week. You will notice that this is late by a day, and that is just because we have had back-to-back outings since we started the Easter holidays. So it's a bit late, of which I apologise, but we'll be back on track by next week. And yeah, I hope you are all enjoying. If you have your children off, I expect you can, sympathise with this, and I can barely speak at this time in the morning. But anyway, I wanted to come to you to discuss a worthiness piece, really. And now this is a huge thing for many of us. It's certainly something that I've carried with me throughout my entire life, probably. And essentially it's about talking about and thinking about, are you worthy? Because this will crop up in many situations where you are looking to up-level yourself, you are looking to step outside your comfort zone, something doesn't feel so easy, it feels difficult, it feels hard, you might be procrastinating, and it can be coming back down to this, am I worthy? Do you feel worthy? And this can often present itself as imposter syndrome. So what is imposter syndrome? Well, it is the persistent inability to believe that one's successes is deserved, or that you've achieved them yourself as a result of your own effort and skills. Now, that is like a dictionary definition of it. And what it means is that we often think we're not worthy of the success we've achieved, or we're not worthy. Why would someone choose us, buy from us? Why would someone value what we can give them? And this is where the imposter syndrome kicks in, because your brain is trying to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to do anything different. It doesn't want you to feel unsafe. So it wants to keep you in your bubble, doing what you do, maybe not moving forward, not causing much disruption. But imposter syndrome can come out at any point. So, and it also is linked to worthiness. Obviously, it says you're not worth the success. You don't believe that it's down to you. Now, I am currently working through this all the time with my business coach, because it's something that's been deep rooted in me since all time. And it's very interesting, because in order to get to the bottom of it, you have to do your mindset work, most importantly. So you have to work on your mindset, and you have to be prepared to uncover, the truth, which can be painful, can be enlightening when you sit there and look at it and reflect, and it can be difficult to digest. So I know that my innate issue with worthiness began probably, as a child. Unfortunately, our parents try and do their best, but they often screw us up in some ways. And my dad left when I was 2. I still saw him, but he wasn't obviously in my life as a permanent, stable fixture. And all through my life, I have determined my value and my worth through my successes. So first thing I wanted to do was to be the first person in my family to go to university. So that was my drive and my ambition. I did go to university and I did get a 2-1, so I'm not completely stupid, thank God. But still, I never got that praise or recognition from my dad, which I craved a lot. And, you know, this is quite an interesting thing for me to uncover this as I'm going through life. And this is kind of where it started for me. So I often push myself to achieve success to gain recognition from the outside world, i.e., my dad. Now, if any of you have been following me in this podcast for a while, you'll know that my dad is not very well. He's got alcohol-induced dementia. He's not in a very good place. So I'm never going to get this kind of recognition, by the way, now at 40 odd years old. So it's not a piece to say you have to go looking for that, but it's more importantly to work out where this kind of stuff is coming from. And I know it stemmed from that, because from that point on, my whole drive and ambition was to get that recognition through my successes. So I wanted to get my own house, get married and not get divorced. That was a massive issue for me, because obviously my parents did divorce. And it was then get my own business. It was then to, you know, prior to owning my own business, it was to go up the ladder in my career. And at the time it was in sales. So it was hitting the next target, being the best all of the time, had to be the best, had to hit every target, had to prove that I was worthy of something. I don't know what, but essentially I just wanted to prove I was the best all the time. And that has kind of driven me all through my life, to the point where as an adult now, a fully matured adult with my own children, I kind of think, what the hell was that all about? Because really, the only thing you need is the recognition from yourself, because to be happy and to be content is to be content with yourself. And you cannot go looking externally for recognition, and you cannot go looking externally for, you know, proof of your success. You need to begin from within. When you love yourself, other people love you. When you can accept and recognize yourself and celebrate yourself, your energy will rise, and you shouldn't be looking externally for something that's inside of us all of the time. And I kind of that is what I wanted to bring onto this episode today, because the worthiness piece will reflect in all the things you do in business. So it can come up quite honestly when you are increasing prices. Now, for me, I'm increasing prices not only in my landscaping business, but through TLC as well. And this is because I know my worth. I know what I do helps people. And I have been selling myself short for a long time. But to do that was really difficult mindset wise, because the whole am I worthy just comes back in, the imposter syndrome kicks back in. And you have to start working on your mindset in order to be able to overcome that and go ahead with that scary step, or the increase in prices. Now, as a landscaping business owner, you can often feel that if you increase prices, you are going to price yourself out the market. And that's just not true, because when you increase prices, you have to showcase your value, and you have to be mindful of what people find valuable, not what you find valuable, but what do other people find valuable about the service that you are providing? What do you do for them when you create their dream garden? Is it that they get to spend time outside? They need to be outside and enjoy their, you know, it makes them happy being outside. They can use their garden. That's all they want. What is it that they value from you? And showcase that and increase your prices with confidence. Know that you are providing an exemplary service. Know that you are providing the service that you tell them you are going to provide. Know that you deliver. Showcase your client testimonials to prove the value and worth that you do. But ultimately, do the work on the inside to make sure that this worthiness piece and the imposter syndrome gets easier as you move along in business. What can you do to help that? Well, lots of different things, really. A lot of things are reflecting on the past, like I have done, and I still do. Thinking about what you have achieved to date. So obviously being grateful, coming from a place of gratitude, and reflecting back on your successes to prove to that annoying brain that you are worthy because this is what you've achieved so far. But, you know, celebrate your achievements in order to make your brain realize that, this has happened before, we're good, this can happen, everything will be fine, instead of it freaking out that you're even thinking of doing anything that's unsafe or could create a feeling of unsafeness. Then you can also do, you know, work on your journaling. So journal all the stuff out. There might be stuff that pops up from your past that you want to just journal on. Now, I work with a client of mine, a landscaper, and something that he has started doing is journaling every day, except the weekends. He does it on the weekdays. And he said it was hard because it felt weird. It didn't feel normal. Sometimes he had nothing to write about. Other days he had lots to write about. He often feels that it's still a bit odd. It doesn't sit quite right with who he is and how he works. But he sees the benefit of it, and it does make him sleep better. It does, you know, help just focus the mind and get rid of the crap in your mind so you can really refocus and go forward. If he had stopped at the uncomfortable stage and given up, then he wouldn't have seen the benefit. So what I'm trying to say is, even if it feels uncomfortable, it doesn't feel a normal activity for you, I do think you should stick with it, just so you can start to see the benefits as it becomes to develop into a habit and you just naturally begin to do it. I do it every morning and evening. I practice gratitude every evening for things that are happening, and it does help alleviate the annoying brain that can go into the negative mode. So yeah, you can do all of these things, but I definitely recommend just thinking about, reflecting back on where this worthiness and imposter syndrome could come from, and then proving it wrong with proof that you have achieved success, that you have gotten over this before, and you have gone on to bigger and better things. It's all about proving to your brain, giving the brain evidence that you have achieved this or you've done this before, so that it doesn't go into freak mode. It's quite an interesting one, and the journey of going through this is not immediate. You are not going to suddenly never get imposter syndrome again. I think it just decides that it's going to crop up at every point where you are stepping outside your comfort zone or up leveling yourself or your business, or both, because that's what tends to happen. I highly also recommend working with a business coach if you don't already, because someone on the outside looking in can just really help have those conversations with you in order to get over these humps in the road, if it is a hump, or you might just be working through it, which is fantastic. Something else that will help is to make sure you spend some time on self-care activities. And that can be whatever that means to you. For me, it's going to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, the mind doesn't work quite so well. But for you, it could be anything. Just indulge in those self-care activities. Don't make it harder for yourself to work through exciting new projects or launches, or just generally working. Just make sure you schedule some self-care time. It's very, very important. We don't want burnout. We don't want resentment towards your work, and we certainly don't want you working 24/7. That's no good for anybody. So I think that's it today. I'm sorry if I've rambled. It's very early and I knew what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry if it's come out in a rambling state this morning. I hope someone somewhere has resonated with this, or I hope this has helped someone going through the same thing. The worthiness piece. You are worthy. And don't forget, if you can believe it, you will see it. Just think on that. If you can believe it, you will see it. So it's all about developing the mind first before you will see the results in action. If you want any help, obviously the TLC is now the landscapers coach. That's me. I'm working with landscapers one-to-one and on mastermind basis to help up-level the business, up-level themselves and up-level their results in their business as well. I'm only working with a limited amount of people because I want to give them the best service I possibly can and the biggest up-level as well. So if you are interested, do get in touch in all the normal ways. I will still be offering the access to all the work I've ever done in TLC, so all the masterclasses, all the topics, all the templates, but it will now be called the Vault, and it will be very easy to use, access 24/7, and you can just help yourself to whatever information you need, whatever inspiration you need will be there, and whatever masterclass you might need to rerun through will be there. So that will be available. Now, all this is changing on the 1st of May. So in a few weeks' time, this will hopefully, if my web developer can get it done, be fully launched and ready to go. I will be sending out more information as we go. But yeah, if you need any help, that's why I'm here, the landscapers coach. I may be tired, it may be early, and it may be half term, but I'm still here helping my clients in their landscaping businesses. So that's it from me today. I will see you next week on the Limitless Landscapers podcast. Ciao, guys.